Good evening. I'm going to invite you to speak with me on how to better police and community relations. What is the root problem of the distrust between the public and the police? Is it that police often overstep constitutional rights, or does the blame fall on society, or is it a combination of both? Let me first start off by telling you the requirements of most police departments. First and foremost, all sworn police officers in America must attend a police academy. According to apexofficer.com, the average police academy length across the United States is about 840 hours or 21 weeks, which is about equivalent to about 5 months. Most departments only require an associate's degree. However, some departments just make you have a high school diploma. There are very few that require a bachelor's degree. So one of the questions is, does a bachelor's degree matter? For example, myself, who will soon have a communications degree from Missouri State University, would that make a difference between me having a degree and me not having a degree? First of all, I'm going to state the use of deadly force, which is a very unfortunate part of the job that some officers have to face. So, according to the Associated Press on August 8th, 2019, in 2014, Michael Brown was shot and killed in Ferguson, Missouri by a police officer. The officer stated that Michael Brown was wanted for investigation and was seen leaving a convenience store after robbing it. And the officer later found Michael Brown down a couple minutes later down the street and confronted him, and he said that Brown attacked him and he had a gash in his head and he tried to pull his gun. So the officer pulled his gun and shot him. That sparked, as we know, many protests from different people across the United States. And my question is, what could have made that different? Is there anything that could have made that different? A month before that, in July of 2019, police in New York City choked Eric Garner to death for illegally selling cigarettes in a chokehold where he said that he can't breathe. That also sparked mass protests across the United States and was the start of the Black Lives Matter movement. How could that have been handled differently, or could it have been? So my question is, when is it appropriate for police to use deadly force, and how do officers avoid that escalation, or is there any way to? Is there any verbal way to avoid escalation to deadly force? We also have to take into account the officer's safety. At the end of the day, they are humans too. For example, just over a month ago, right here in Springfield, Officer Chris Walsh was killed by a gunman. He was not a felon. He illegally owned a firearm and just went on a shooting spree and killed a bunch of people, and no one knows why. So does that land on the gun problems, or because he illegally obtained the weapon? So does that lie on a mental health problem? Unfortunately, the perpetrator is dead, so we will never know. So in conclusion, I'd say that a majority of American citizens would say that police and public relationships need to be better, but the root of the problem is up for debate. However, in such a gun-heavy society that America is, disarming police officers like the country of England did is not a viable option. They would just have so many police deaths. In America alone, there are 270 million guns, and most gun owners have good intentions. However, a few do not, according to Axios, written in 2019. Can we fix that problem with the people who do not have good intentions and plan to shoot not only police officers but other people? I know that we run background checks on people who buy weapons, but sometimes they don't have felonies on their record, so they can legally obtain a weapon. So does it lie with the public being reckless at times, or does the problem with police lie on police being afraid to get shot? Because there is that fear in every single encounter that police have with the public. So yeah, there are many debates to discuss police and community relations. So I would love to hear input on how to better relationships, rebuild trust, and bridge the gap between police and citizens. And after all, everyone is human, so we need to have more compassion, in my opinion, and remember that we're all human. Thank you.